again to Planica on this, the final day of the Rugas World Cup ski jumping season. I'm David Goldstrom, all the Eurosport Nordic team fit, fine and ready for this finale. And what a finale. It really has come down to the wire after 4 months on the road. Anders Jakobsen of Norway in second place, 66 points behind Adam Mauish, the rookie in his first season. That's of course Anders Jakobsen, coached by the man just walking round to take his place on the coach's stand, Mika Korjankowski, and Adam Mauish, coached by Hannu Lepistu. Two Finns as coaches, one for Norway, one for Poland, and one of them is going to be elated, one of them is going to be slightly disappointed. But both of their young charges really have done them proud this season. Pauli 189.5, and flags from really all the nations here. Wonderful meeting yesterday afternoon, all the coaches and the ski jumpers in their ski jumping little village where they prepare their skis in sort of mini alpine huts, inviting all of the media to a big celebration party for the end of the season. Harry Olli in the air, the world silver medalist in Sapporo, and a young man who's caused his own controversy. Underneath that helmet you'll find a shaven head. Well, there are one or two suggesting that it's his way of saying, I want a fresh coaching start. He's been critical of head coach Tommy Nikkanen. It hasn't found favour with everybody, his comments. But Harry Ollie, his claim to fame this year, the silver medal in the Worlds. 210.5 metres, and Ollie into the lead, and now Camel Stock. 3 top 15 finishes this season for him, and 9th, the best he's managed. Could he do better today? I wonder. Oh, he's held it. He's held it. He is absolutely super delighted with that. Now, he's going to give a ton of style points away, but look at this for distance. 210.5, and that is a new personal best by 8.5 metres. So Harry Ollie gets a personal best of 6 metres, and Camel Stock also a new mark. Well, Andy Vidhersel, twice a world silver ski flying medalist, hasn't been the best of seasons for Andy. 30th in the World Cup rankings coming into today, so just squeezes into the finale. And Andy building up really for next year's ski flying world championships. That's his big objective, to recapture his best form and be a threat on behalf of the Austrian team. Vidhersel, runner-up last year in the ski flying worlds in Kulm on Austrian snow. Antonin Hayek, a really encouraging upward curve of form for this young man, just 20 years of age, and a 6th place in Lahti, his best of the season and a lifetime best. Good in-run speed, 106 kilometres. We're looking at 65 miles an hour, and that's round about the 200-metre mark there for Antonin Hayek. 204.5 his best, 202.5 in this opening round. And just at the moment, the backwind that was a little stronger about 15 minutes ago, just subsiding, and conditions pretty good at the moment. The overhead clouds still with us, and there's Mika Koryankowski preparing for this man, Björn Einar Rumoren. Rumoren, only 3 top 10 performances so far this year for the world ski flying record holder. 239 metres, of course, 2 years ago here in a remarkable competition. And Rumoren over 200. A 5th place in Garmisch-Partenkirchen on New Year's Day, his best performance of the current campaign. And if truth be told, if you took Jakobsen out of the equation, Norway's performances wouldn't look quite as bright. But they are lying 2nd in the Nations Cup rankings, with Switzerland in 3rd place. And that's really extraordinary when you consider that Switzerland have only 4 competitive jumpers compared to Finland, one of the powerhouses of the sport, who are currently some 26 points behind them. And Switzerland determined to stay ahead. Now, Pedersen and Rumoren, not too dissimilar seasons, these two. But Pedersen, 2-footed and sailing down. And look at this. Well, no telemark landing, but who cares? Just inside 220. The flight phase, very good indeed. The touchdown, 2-footed. And, of course, that'll take him down to 16.5 and 17s. But he has got 218 metres, 218.5 to take the lead. And Pedersen, Norway, Ollie, Finland 2nd. And now a huge roar for Robert Kranic, fourth here 48 hours ago, his best of the season and in training, setting a new Slovenian national record of 229 ski flying meters, twice the length of that local football pitch of yours in just 7 seconds, and he's around 200 with a little unstable landing there, concern about the bindings. Just under 106 kilometers in terms of speed, 201. A lot of men would love to go out with a victory, but to do that, they're going to have to give themselves a platform in this first round from which to attack in the second leg. Remember, there's no elimination today. Noriaki Kasai. Kasai, funny old season, but a couple of highlights. 2 third-place finishes, nice-looking skis from the man who won the ski flying title as far back. That's the championship of the world in ski flying back in 1992. Now 34 years of age, but still a hugely valuable member of the Japanese team. And incidentally, you probably won't see them today, but Alan Alborn and Clint Jones, 2 Americans, and they've been trial jumping, pre-jumping here, and it's their last competition, both retiring. It's a very sad story coming out of the United States that basically all the funding for the men's team has disappeared and evaporated, and therefore it's almost force majeure that they have to retire. More of that in a moment as we see Jörg Ritzerfeld, who's been a man who's looked a little jaded, and that's about 195 there for Ritzerfeld. Just going back to the Alan Alborn, Clint Jones story. Glenn, his dad here, incidentally, one of the judges in box E. Eero Kusinen of Finland in D. Niels Livland, the tough marking Norwegian, but fair marking Norwegian in box C. Andreas Langer in box B, and Janis Bester in box A. Those are your 5 judges today, marking out of 20, and Ritzerfeld only 191 and a half. Once again, it's Slovenia, and this time the most successful Slovenian. I know Rocco Banch got a victory in Zakopane, but that was wind assisted and very fortunate. And so I'm going to give the best Slovenian performance of the season so far to this man, Jone Damian, 3rd in Villingen, 3rd in Planica 48 hours ago. Looking good. Looking nice here, good skis, and that's nice. That's 205, 206 meters here from Jone Damian. 207 and a half, I beg his pardon, and that's going to put him up into something like 4th place, I would have thought. Has really established a lovely flying position, good skis. The touchdown, well, I've seen better, and in fact Niels Livland marking really toughly. He's saying 16 and a half. He's saying no telemark. Now the others are not saying that, but 199.5 into 4th place. Great to see these Slovenians smiling after what has been a pretty tough season. Ipatov still feeling the bruises from a fall when one of his bindings gave way of its own accord, nothing that Ipatov did. And Dmitry Ipatov for Russia, of course. Good, over 200 meters. He and Kornilov, both Universiade champions this season, both have personal bests of 5th places. In the case of Ipatov, it was in Lahti. 5 top 15 finishes in the season. It's been a big step forward for Dmitry Ipatov. 204 meters, a new personal best. Tom Hilda and Norway with a lot of promising talent, and this young man, a member of the Asker Ski Club, is certainly one of those. Silver medal at the Senior World Championships as a member of the Norwegian team in the team event. And Hilda, traditionally, that balance or imbalance taking him out to the left again, but over 210 meters. Tom Hilda, who's got a best of 2:13 and exactly 210 meters for the Norwegian. 5 times he's appeared in the top 15 before today. A sort of season's report, if you like. A year ago, they thought that this man was going to be the man for the season of 2007. Well, he's still done pretty well, but Jakobsen has had all the headlines. And there you can see this fantastic crowd. Kranjska Gora, where everybody stays, has been party town here, tucked up in the northwest corner of Slovenia. And Denis Kornilov now. He's got a personal best of 218.5 meters set 2 years ago. And as I mentioned, like Ipatov, a Universiad champion this season. And that's over 200. Ipatov down in 9th place with 204 and Kornilov 203.5. These two men on occasions are almost inseparable. But the interesting thing is that they've sent a message to Dmitry Vasiliev, who's 9th overall in the World Cup rankings, that he can no longer take for granted his #1 position. And that little coaches party yesterday, we were all down there. And the Russians, what were they serving? Well, amongst other things, terrific vodka. Martin Schmidt now, here with his girlfriend Patricia. They live these days in Freiburg. Both of them studying, and I think this has been a really gutsy season for Martin, including his first podium since 2002. Well, not too bad. 190s, not 200s for Martin. And he thinks that it's gone reasonably well, but he knows that he's still got to resolve the problems on the in-run that are holding him back. He's just not that aerodynamically efficient. And he's not taking maximum speed into the transition. Well, there are 1,000 Norwegians, a couple of charter flights to bring the boys and the girls down here. This town, Kranjska Gora, ain't big enough for all of them. But Anders Bardell, 4 top 10 finishes in the last 8 days. That's really terrific, including a podium in the first of the 2 Oslo competitions and a silver medal in the team competition in the Worlds. This has been the grown-up season for him. He really has come through. And he could come through today. Again, that's looking promising. Look at the height that he's got. And that's over 200, but not 210. Still Sigurd Pedersen of Norway leading the way. 218.5. Harry Ollie, 210.5. Tom Hilda, 210. Camille Stock, 210.5. And Bardell, 203.5 in the end. But good style as ever. Look at those style marks. He's been solid in that department, as I said, for the last 8 to 10 days. So that's helped him up into 6th place. Roar Jökulsøy. There's been some chatter about Roar calling it a day. He was disappointed not to win yesterday, finished 4th, but Jökulsøy, a bronze medal on the big hill in the World Championships after a really difficult season, particularly at the start. And Roar, good. We need him to have a good day. Talking to Espen Bredesen here, who's commentating for Norwegian television and was a former ski flying world record holder back in 1994 when he set 209 meters at the mark. Espen was saying that he's pretty confident that Roar's going to give it at least one more season. 206 as his platform to attack, but he can be as good as 230.5. Did that 2 years ago. Martin Koch from Villach will be next. Alexander Poitner, Austria, the top nation overall in the World Cup point standings in that particular division. And Martin Koch on the podium yesterday in 3rd place, leading at the halfway stage. A chance to win then. Can he give himself another chance today here? Needs the distance. Oh, he's got the distance, and he needs it because he never really attracts the highest of style marks. And 216.5. Father Fritz and the family here to watch Martin, who in his career has had 4 runners-up spots, but this season 2nd in Oslo, 3rd, as I said yesterday, and overall 7 top 10 finishes, finishing the season far more strongly than he started, and he takes the lead, because remember, Pedersen didn't have a telemark at all. Martin Koch did, and he gets the advantage. So Austria lead, and now Artur Lappi, who's going to take us to just about the halfway stage. Lappi, the winner of the very first of this season's 23 competitions, as it will be, and short of the calculation line, and that really illustrates the way he's lost form. Really, he ran out of gas at the end of January before the World Championships, and he's never been able to regain that. But he has time, he has prospects, but disappointing. Here we go, the continuation of the first round. 9 to go. Matti Hautamäki, this man who's had this rather extraordinary record this season, yet to have a victory. And the triple Planica winner coming down, and coming down well over 200 meters. That's heading towards 210. 212 and a half there for Matti Hautamäki, and that puts him in contention. So far this season, Matti Hautamäki second in Garmisch, third in Vikersund, third in Zakopane, third in Oslo in the second competition. And the coincidence of all those performances is that all of those were one-jump affairs. Hautamäki into third place, and now the #1 ranked Russian, Dmitry Vasiliev, who's actually slipped down to 10th place and just looks as if the season's got the better of him. Third place in Neustadt, his best of the season, running up towards the World Championships. And that's sort of 190 to 195. But it was really after Klingenthal, one of the replacement events, that Vasiliev just seemed to embark on a downward curve, and he hasn't been able to arrest that in the final phase of the season. And as I said, Ipatov and Kornilov have sent a little notice to Vasiliev that he shouldn't take the #1 Russian position for granted. The news is that Jani Ahonen will continue for next season, and this man, who has been, of course, a tremendous World Cup winner in his time, would be desperate to get a podium today, if possible. And that's not bad at all. It's over 200, but it needs to be a bit longer for Jani to really threaten. Has been moving up the table. He's now 8th in the overall World Cup rankings, the winner of the overall World Cup in 2004 and 2005. So Jani, 204.5 meters. His best result, 4th in Vikersund, in the only other ski flying event before we came to Planica. 13 times in the top 10, Jani, but looks like he might end the season without a podium, and that would be the first time since 1993. Now Andy Koeffler, 3 times a runner-up. He's knocked on a World Cup door, but he's not managed to stand on the top step so far. Martin Koch of Austria still leading. Good skis. And 200. Not 210, and you've got to be up near 210 at the moment to really put pressure on the current leaders. In-run speed there of 106.3. That's even a little bit faster than Martin Koch. Top 6, and there's the club, the fan club from Kärnten in Carinthia. Not more than an hour's or so's drive away for Thomas Morgenstern. 3 times a runner-up like Andy Koeffler, twice third, 4th in the 4 hills, and of course a bronze medalist on the 90-meter hill at the World Championships. The double Olympic champion from Prajalato last year. He has such a high standard that he set himself, and 209.5. He has a PB of 225.5, a personal best of that mark. But look at the style. And it's taken him right up to 3rd place. Martin Koch of Austria, Sigurd Pedersen of Norway, and Thomas Morgenstern, and only 4.4 points. So 3 meters, not more, covering the top 3 at the moment. Switzerland third in the Nations Cup, and they need Andy Keutel, the 5th best ski jumper of the season, to now fly far. The Garmisch-Partenkirchen winner on New Year's Day. And that is very, very, very nice. Over 200 and 3 times a runner-up from Andy. Needs 200 to 197. It looked better. So he's got a counter-punch in the second round, but don't rule it out. Remember, it's the Swiss are looking at their relative positions to Finland in the Nations Cup standings. 3 to go in the first round, and here's the world champion, Simon Oman. He's going to take a little break, do a little free skiing, then a little study. He's an engineering research student at Zurich University, or Technical College. And Simi, solid. A little two-footed on the landing. I don't think he's going to get away with that. I don't think the telemark is going to be given, but you're looking at the man who surely is going to go into, I would reckon, 3rd place. Now, these marks actually are better than Pedersen's for style, and they've given him the telemark, and that means he's in the lead. Now, I wasn't sure about that, but that is the lead. Simon Oman by 0.2 of a point ahead of Martin Koch. I thought he landed and slipped the telemark, but here comes Anders Jakobsen with Adam Mauisch centre stage in this head-to-head duel to the wire. 66 points down on the man who'll follow him. And Jakobsen in safely, but only the mid-200s. Jakobsen, 22 years of age, a year ago a plumber, but in the past year catapulted by Mika Koriankowski into the A team, and has rewarded himself and the Norwegians with 4 World Cup victories, 11 podiums in 22 events, and of course the 4 Hills title. So 208 meters, and remember now, it is the relationship between Jakobsen and Adam Mauisch that will decide the Ruhrgas Championship for 2007. But this is only the first round. Both men will have a second opportunity, and Adam Mauisch, the Polish Eagle, bidding today for a 9th season win. Extraordinary. Mauisch, conventional in a way. He'd love to win, but he doesn't possibly have to win. And Hannu Lepistu, 220. It could have been more, and he's gone sailing past Simon Oman and the telemark landing, and 215 points. And now the challenge for Jakobsen is of Everest proportions if he wants to win the title, because Adam Mauisch is safely down, absolutely certain to score big points, and it would take something of earthquake seismic proportions to keep Adam Mauisch out of the World Cup points at the end of the second round. Just look at this. In front of his father Jan, his mother Eva, his wife Isabella, their daughter Carolina. And that is terrific. The power and strength there, of course a loss of control, but 220 in these conditions, soft snow, and that really is very good indeed. Niels Livland, 16.5, the most critical of the judges, but Mauisch leads by 3 points over Simon Oman. Martin Koch of Austria third, Pedersen, and the difference is that Jakobsen is in 8th place, some 12.5 points off the lead. So Adam Mauisch and Jakobsen, as I said, separated. If the competition were to be stopped now, of course, Adam Mauisch would get 100 points and he would win it easily. And 8th place is only worth 32 points. So, barring a fall, as they say, the title is going to go to Poland and Adam Mauisch. And down here at the bottom of the leaderboard. The two men who are going to be eliminated because we've got 32 in this first round. Normally we only have 30, so two men have to go out, sadly. And those two men are going to be Primož Peterka and Artu Lapi of Slovenia and Finland, respectively. So when we go for the second round, 30 will jump. Veli-Matti Lindström will be first to go. They go in reverse order, and Adam Małysz will fly last for the title. Well, welcome back here to Planica, and sadly, I have to tell you that the weather has defeated us yet again. This incessant snowfall has intensified. The amount of snow going into the in-run is far too great for the army of workers to clean out and maintain. And sadly, what it means is that we've all been denied a second round to bring the season to an ending of the 2007 Rugas World Cup season. This is the way it ends. Adam Małysz is the champion of the World Cup. He takes today his 9th win of the season as a result of 220-meter first effort ahead of Simon Amann and Martin Koch. It means that Adam Małysz wins the World Cup with a total of 1,453 points ahead of Anders Jakobsen, and in third place Simon Amann for Switzerland, who incidentally, and I'll explain it a little later, have clung on to third place in the Nations Cup. So these the overall and final positions in today's individual competition after yet again another curtailed one-jump competition. Garmisch-Partenkirchen, we had just one round, of course, at the beginning of the campaign in Kusamo. It was a one-jump competition, one jump in Vikersund, one in Zakopane, and one last Sunday in Oslo. And it's been that sort of season. It's been tricky, it's been difficult, but at the end of the day, what we can say is that Adam Małysz of Poland has equaled Matti Nukkinen's record of 4 World Cup season-long victories. Matti Nukkinen did it in 83, 85, 86 and 88. And Adam Małysz now has regained the title that he won in 2001, 2002, 2003, and regains the title in 2007 to become only the second man in the 28-year history of the World Cup to win 4 season-long World Cups. So here in flight, in air, the Polish Eagle. And what a young man. Adam Małysz in front of Father Jan, Mother Eva, and also his wife Isabella and his daughter Carolina. 4 times a world champion, silver and bronze medals in the Olympics, now 4 times a World Cup winner, and now taking his victories to a total of 38, and that leaves him just 8 behind the legendary Matti Nukkinen, who notched up 46 victories in his career, a number we never thought would be matched. Małysz has still got lots of work to do, but he's determined to go to Vancouver, which means it gives him the 2008, 2009 and 2010 seasons in which to find 8 victories. Sounds easy, it never is, but Małysz, that is one of his major goals, to not only get a 5th World Cup title, but also to become the most successful World Cup ski jumper in the history of this sport. Here in Planica, well, the disappointment is the fact that we couldn't have this second round, which have just brought it to a finale. But let's not forget the runner-up, Anders Jakobsen. What a season for this young man. He may be feeling the effects of a hard night here in Kranjgården, but I can tell you that Mika Koriankowski taking a bow there, he deserves a big pat on the back, because as you'll see from the overall World Cup standings, Adam Małysz with the final total ahead of Anders Jakobsen. Jakobsen with 4 victories, and 11 podiums in 23 events in his first year, and he takes home also the Four Hills title, and so many aspire to win that, but few ever succeed. Seaman Oman in third place, he getting his highest ever finish in the overall World Cup, ahead of the absent Gregor Schlierenzauer, the 17-year-old Austrian, back home after curtailing his challenge, with Switzerland having Andy Kudel in fifth place, two in the top five. And looking a little bit further down, Denis Kornilov and Ipatov, a good season for those two. Yerny Damian in 23 position. He actually reviving the Slovenian hopes, 2 World Cup podiums for them. And Mario Inauer for Austria, son of the Austrian Nordic boss Tony Inauer. A bright prospect for the future. So onto the stage goes Anders Bardell, and Anders Bardell is the man of the year. He's the man who's most consistently improved in competition by competition, and he takes the bonus prize for the year. For today, it's Sigurd Pedersen, as I mentioned a few moments ago, and so 2 happy new Norwegians, a little bit richer. But now in third place today, as he was yesterday, Martin Koch. He finished on the podium here last year in second and third place. Today and yesterday, it's third place. Fritz, his father and family are here. And Seaman Oman, the world champion, consolidating his third overall place, finishing as runner-up today. Seaman Oman, second and eighth here in the first 2 competitions. And a huge roar for the 29-year-old superstar of ski jumping, not only in his own home Polish country, but a quite remarkable athlete. Mum and Dad, Jan and Eva, Isabel and daughter Carolina, how proud can they be of son and father? An 8th victory of the season, taking him to within 8 ski jumping victories of the great Matti Nykänen, and in so taking this year's Ruhrgas World Cup Championship, winning his 4th consecutive World Cup title to equal the record of the great Matti Nykänen, the only other man in the 28-year history of the World Cup to win it 4 times. Well, today and this ceremony is all about the achievement of the moment, but the moment will be followed by the appreciation for the work done over the whole season. And remember, of course, Mawish at the top of the overall table, but Jakobsen, the Norwegian who's had a stunning season, to appear for his moment of appreciation, which you will certainly get from the Norwegian flags. They will be in evidence momentarily. So many congratulations going on here, and it is a moment to savor. And you can be absolutely sure that of all the fans who are staying, it is the Norwegians and the Polish. So Sigurd Pedersen, be a little encouraged. He's had a slightly better finish to the season, and that's always always encouraging. So these are the men of the day, remember. Adam Mawish, 6 victories since the 11th of March and 8 in all. Look how pumped up Seaman Oman is. 2002, burst upon the scene with the double Olympic gold medals, of course, in Salt Lake City. But this has been the best World Cup season for him. So just a little bit of reorganisation now for the championship of the season, the Rugas World Cup of ski jumping. And after 23 competitions stretching back from November to the present day, it is Seaman Aman who adds third place in the World Cup to the World Championship that he won last season. And in second place, Anders Jakobsen, the runner-up. What a season, 4 wins, 11 podiums in 23 competitions and the Four Hills Championship. An absolutely outstanding season for a rookie, a man who a year ago wasn't even in the A team. He was sorting out bathrooms and plumbing. But the absolute superstar is this man, Adam Małysz, who came to notoriety winning in Oslo in 1996, and 1997 followed up. Then the form disappeared. He reinvented himself in 2001, 2002, 2003. And then this year, under the guidance and with the help of Hannu Lepistu of Finland, has come through to take 8 victories, and with it, the overall Crystal Globe as World Cup champion. Seaman Aman, I think I said he won the world title last year, but of course it was this year. Poland, Adam Małysz with the biggest of all those FIS Crystal Globes. And at 29, now, after a little rest and recovery, will get ready for another campaign and to try and get those elusive 8 victories to bring him up alongside the great Matti Nuukkanen. And who knows, maybe overtake the great Finn of the 80s. The dream has come true. It has been a superb system. The honour of his national anthem. And I wonder, and I hope, when we get towards the end of the year, when we have all those international award ceremonies like the Laureus Awards, I hope that somebody's going to remember Adam Małysz and what he has achieved. Well, almost time for us to say goodbye. For myself, David Goldstrom, and all the Eurosport Nordic team, to all of you out there, thanks for your company throughout the season. Without you, it wouldn't be the same.